All right, so I have been able to get very clear on my goals, and I want to walk you through exactly how I was able to do it. So it actually turns out that you can really do anything, but you can't do everything, right? So it is a good time to dream, but also make sure that when you are dreaming, that you're creating the focus required to ensure that you achieve those dreams. If there is one thing that I have learned that has completely changed my life, it's this. Getting clear on your personal goals matters more than you think. When you get specific about who you want to become and where you want to go, everything else just seems to fall in place and to align. I can actually talk about this topic because, as you know, if you've been following me for a while, I have led multiple different businesses and built a few different companies. But for a long time, I was actually building my businesses with this set of clarity and these defined goals, while letting my personal life kind of drift in the background without that same level of focus. I thought it was allowing me to be, a little bit flexible so I could go here and go there, but I was really avoiding something. I had learned how to lead others, but hadn't stopped to lead myself. So one of my personal goals might sound a little funny to you, but it's serious to me. I want to be able to beat my son in any physical sport or challenge that he throws at me over the next 10 years. That means until he's 16, I want to be able to run faster, jump higher, and even keep up with him on the court. This is going to be tough for me. Gone are the days of saying, hey, dad's too tired to play. Nope, done with that. So in order to get there, I've needed to take up running. I've even started lifting weights again. I track my food and eat healthier. I even spend more money on the right foods now than I ever have in the past. The idea is to get healthy and have that as a priority. I have started working on reshaping not just my body, but my mindset, my energy, and my commitment to be able to achieve this long-term goal. And here's the system that helps me follow through. I break my personal vision into daily habits and quarterly goals. I focus on things I can do today, this week, and this quarter. I track my progress just like I would with my business goals. And then when I hit these quarterly goals, I reward myself. Not with something random, but with something that I really want. Something that actually motivates me. Now, these are things that I probably would have just bought on my own or purchased in the past, but now I make myself earn them. So for example, my most recent reward was a brand new Tesla Model 3. Now, I wanted the car and I could afford the car, but I actually had to earn it. So I bought it and I put it in the garage for nearly 2 weeks. I didn't even allow myself to drive it until I had completed all of my goals. I am that serious about not getting a reward unless I hit the target. That car did not just symbolize success, it actually symbolized discipline, follow through, and holding myself accountable to those daily habits. I wasn't gonna drive it until I hit those goals. If you own a small business like I do, you probably set goals for your company all the time. You have a plan for each quarter, you track your progress, you meet with your team, and you know exactly where you want the company to go. That kind of focus helps us grow our companies and keep things moving forward. Obviously, your business is organized, intentional, and you have measurable things that you're working towards. But let me ask you something. What about your personal life? For the longest time, I used to do all of those things for my business, but almost none of them for myself. I didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted in my personal life. I never actually sat down and thought through where I wanted to be in 10 years. I hadn't asked myself what kind of person I wanted to become, how I wanted to treat my family, or how I wanted to grow outside of work. And if I think deep down, I think I was afraid of the accountability that this type of growth would actually require. I was scared. Scared of failing, scared of being honest with myself, scared that if I made a plan and didn't reach it, I'd feel like I was letting myself down. So I intentionally, or maybe unintentionally, kept things a little fuzzy. I would tell myself things like, I want to be a good person, or I want to keep improving. Now, these are obviously nice ideas, but they weren't clear. They weren't goals that I could actually chase or measure. They were more like hopes, and hopes don't create progress, clarity does. I didn't even realize I was actually doing this at the time. I thought I was just staying flexible, but really I was holding myself back. So actually this week, I was talking to a few members of my team. These are people that are smart and hardworking, but they did not have personal goals defined. They had goals at work because they were given to them. But outside of work, they didn't have a clear vision of what they actually were working towards. That moment of that conversation really made me reflect. I used to feel the same way, just going through the motions, doing the next thing, but not pushing myself to grow in ways that really mattered the most. As business leaders, part of our job is helping others unlock their personal potential. We're here to mentor, to guide, and to teach. And most people like me, we're never actually trained on how to set personal goals. So if we're not creating space for that in our leadership, we're actually missing out on a big opportunity. I realized something else too during these conversations. If your dreams and goals aren't big enough for your team's dreams to fit inside of, they'll eventually just go find somewhere else where it does. Somewhere where their dreams do fit. That's why we have to dream bigger as leaders, not just for us, but actually for those we lead and those around us. So over the last few years, I have worked hard to get clear. I was intentional to sit down, get quiet, and really just ask myself, what do I want my life to look like in 10 years? What kind of husband, father, friend, and leader do I actually want to be? And for the first time, I actually wrote it all down, not just typed it up on the notepad on the computer, but I grabbed a physical notepad and wrote it on paper. The kind of husband I want to be, the one who listens, the one who shows up, the one who's patient and kind, the kind of dad I wanted to be, the one who plays, encourages, and teaches, the way I want people to feel when they walk into a room, encouraged, supported, and inspired, the habits that I want to build into my life, waking up early, being present, taking care of my health, and showing gratitude. Getting clear on these things is what vision feels like. And once I got clear, everything just started changing. It happened just like that. Giving myself permission to dream gave me energy I didn't even know I was missing. I started waking up earlier, not just because I had to or because I set the alarm, but because I wanted to. I had a picture of the person that I was becoming, and that made me want to move. That made me want to get up and do things differently than I had the day before. And turns out, when I start doing those things, it doesn't just affect you, but it actually affects those that are around you as well. My family and my team noticed the change. I actually came to work with more purpose. When a leader has a clear vision, not just at work, but in life, it lifts everyone up around them. I became more focused in conversations and made better decisions because I knew what I had valued. I stopped chasing everything and started pursuing only the right things. Now, let's be clear, I am still figuring these things out and just want to make sure that I'm communicating the process that I'm going through as I'm learning some of these tactics. But writing down my personal goals and defining my 10-year vision was the turning point for me, and it was a major improvement on what I was doing before. Now, every day I ask myself, is what I'm doing today really pulling me closer to that vision? If yes, I lean into it. If no, I just realign. That's the power of clarity. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. It's about building a life with actual intention. So if you're watching this and haven't written down your personal goals, I want to challenge you to do it right now. Just like you wouldn't run your business without goals, don't run your life without them either. Now, I'm not just talking about creating, a to-do list. I'm talking about really getting vividly clear on your vision. Create that picture of who you want to become, where you want to be, what you want that to look like. What does it feel like? What do your relationships look like? What does a great day feel like for you? Let yourself dream, then create focus. Don't stay vague to play it safe. Clarity might actually feel a little bit risky, but it's really what pushes you to achieve growth. Because once you know where you're going, everything changes. Your thoughts, your energy, your decisions, and the people around you will feel the difference too. Start by dreaming, then write it down. You'll be amazed what happens next. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you want to check out another video on business and personal success, click on the video here and I'll see you on the other side.